government publications. Government's National Family Welfare Survey says these numbers. So consumption is low, except the high-end items of the very, very rich. Consumption is low. And the fourth engine, exports are low. The trade deficit is increasing. Our trade deficit with China alone is $73 billion. $73 billion with one country. Our trade deficit, the numbers are there in today's Indian Express. The graph of exports and imports and the gap known as trade deficit is higher. So if 3 of your 4 engines are not growing, why? There must be an explanation, there must be an answer. And has the government taken into account that many of the world's leading economies are headed towards a recession today? Britain is in a recession. Germany is in recession. The US is in a technical recession, except that their employment growth is robust. France and Italy may escape recession. Japan is, as you know, is quite happy with modest growth. China is growing at only 3.3% this year. Therefore, many of the countries are heading towards a recession. Leading economies are heading towards a recession. Welcome, Mr. Chairman. If many of the countries are headed towards a leading towards a recession, my question is simple, without blaming anyone. Does the government take into account, reckon the fact that the world's leading countries are heading towards a recession? If they are leading towards a recession, and if 3 of your engines are sputtering, how do you propose to deal with the situation? How do you propose to stimulate growth? This is my 5th question. Sir, you have come when I'm completing my 5 questions, but there is still one left, and that's the most important one. And I hope that...
I'm so glad the most important is kept.
I said at the first that I will keep it in the hope that you will come at that time.
Mr. Chidambaram is very senior. I claim to be senior to many, but he is the one acknowledged more senior.
Now, I said at the opening, the government is asking 500 crore for defense capital expenditure, for strategic roads. And I said, without a dissent, without a murmur, the government will gladly grant the government 500 crore or even more. But I want answers to a few questions. These are strategic and border roads in the northeast, is what the supplementary grant says. Now we know who is the threat in the northeastern border, northern and eastern border. So our questions are very simple questions, which we are asking again and again. Has China conceded anything on hot springs? Have the Chinese agreed to discuss the friction points in the Doklam Junction and in the Depcham Plains? You are creating more buffer zones. What does a buffer zone mean? According to our information, a buffer zone means there will be a no petrol area. China will not petrol. India will not petrol. Does it mean that we are no longer petroling? This is a supplementary demand. Modi ji, you were 13 years finance minister. I can speak on any subject when the demand is there for money. You know the rule. I want to know.
I'm sure anything and everything does not include anything and everything.
I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm asking
No,
questions.
I'll make only one suggestion. During your long career, you have had the occasion to hold very high positions. And by virtue of that situation, you are well in the know of governance issues. Any diversion
I'm not
or
diverting
even
on the
a-
subject.
even a
I'm asking
settling-
on strategic and,
I'm
strategic
sure
and
you-
border roads.
No, as long as it was on that,
That's
it
all I'm
was
speaking.
fine.
That's
It-
all.
Sir, it went little beyond.
That's all I'm speaking on. That's all I'm speaking. Pointed questions. Pointed questions. Only on that point. Does it mean that we are no longer patrolling in areas where we were patrolling? Number four, I'm not yielding. Number four, the US Defense Department spokesman has said, and our spokesman have also said, that there is massive building of infrastructure on the other side of the LAC, and equally our government is also building massive infrastructure on the other side. Now, what is this infrastructure on the other side? I don't want you to tell me what is the infrastructure on our side. That may be a defense secret. But what is the infrastructure that they are building on the other side? That your satellites will be capturing pictures. We know that they have built roads, bridges, settlements, helipads, communications. Now, please tell us, what is the massive infrastructure that China is building? And I don't want you to tell us what is the equally matching infrastructure that you're building on our side. I don't want you to tell us. And finally, I saw a video clip and I was quite happy of the Honorable Prime Minister meeting the President of China at Bali, and they were shaking hands. I'm
Point of order.
Can I have the mic on, sir?
Point of order.
Rule number 110 under legislation scope of debate. The discussion on a motion that the bill be passed shall be confined to the submission of arguments either in support of the bill or for rejection of the bill. In making his speech, a member shall not refer to the details of the bill further than is necessary for the purpose of his arguments, which shall be of a general character. So what is being mentioned by the honorable member, Mr. Chidambaram, is beyond the scope. We are not discussing legislation on border security. So this is completely unnecessary. I request that these remarks be expunged, sir.
The honorable member has raised an issue pertaining to applicability of Rule 110. Frankly, this rule has a rationale, and this rule does indicate contours within which deliberation has to take place. It says the discussion on a motion that the bill is passed shall be confined to the submission of arguments either in support of the bill or for the rejection of the bill. In making his speech, a member shall not refer to the details of the bill further than is necessary for the purpose of his arguments, which shall be of a general character. Without getting into details, I would urge the honorable member with his experience to take note of the essence and spirit of the rule.
Yes, we are not.
And also be cognizant that defense issues, security issues are of critical consequence.
Correct. I'm not asking for secret information.
Sir, 1 second.
I'm not asking any secret information.
A man at your level has to set afloat an ecosystem whereby on security sensitive issues we rise to a different level.
I have not asked for I have said what they don't have to tell us. I've even said that. Now the last question is, I was very happy to see the Honorable Prime Minister meet the President of China in Bali, and I saw a video, they're shaking hands. Our Prime Minister did the talking. In that short clip, I did not see President Xi say anything. I just want to know if, without getting into the details, was the border situation discussed? Just yes or no. Don't tell me what you discussed. Just tell me yes or no. Was the border discussion discussed?
This is beyond.
You are asking 500 crore for the border. You are asking 500 crore for the border, and I'm entitled to ask this question. I'm entitled to ask this question.
Mr. Chidambaram,
Sir, Parliament is not a chamber to censor.
Like a shrewd senior advocate who uses court craft to get into the terrain by saying, I am not getting into the terrain. Sir, you have made reflection about our Prime Minister.
I've said nothing.
No, three things you have said.
I said, I don't want to tell me what he said.
Sir, three things you have said. One, that the Honorable Prime Minister said something, there was no response. I have developed...
I'm not asking what he said.
One second.
I didn't ask for that.
One second.
No, please, Mr. Chairman.
One second.
Please don't misinterpret me. I did not ask what he said. Yes.
Give me a minute. I have developed a practice here that honorable members, when they are engaged in debate, make reference to documents, videos. You may place that on record, on the table of the House.
I do not wish to know what
that
he
may
said.
be placed on the table of the House so that we'll examine it and go about it.
The video clip did not have a audio. It's only a video clip which is available in all channels. It's a video clip for a few seconds. I want to know. Did they discuss China? Why is there such a reluctance to say, did the Honorable Prime Minister discuss yes or no? Got an opportunity to discuss China with President
I am on a different point.
Answer is yes or no. Answer is yes or no.
One second.
Chinese border issue or not, we have a right to know.
Let him speak out. He is already speaking out.
He is not being allowed to speak.
Come on, settle down.
I don't want to know. Sir, I don't wish to know what he said. I don't wish to know the details of his conversation.
Let me.
When they disturb our speaker, you don't tell them. You should tell them also.
You are casting aspersions on the chair.
Tell them also.
You are casting aspersions on the chair.
We are not casting any aspersions.
One second. The honorable member repeatedly cast aspersions on the chair.
No, I'm not
This
casting
has to
aspersions,
please
sir,
take your
but-
seat.
but- no,
Take your seat. Take your seat.
One second, sir. One second.
Take your seat.
One second, sir. One second.
Take your seat.
One second, sir.
No. Take your seat. Take your seat. First take your
When
seat.
they are disturbing, they should probably ask to keep quiet, sir.
First take your seat.
all right.
You directly made an allegation against the chair that the chair is not controlling
They are
them.
disturbing, sir.
Number one.
Disturbing
Number
our
two,
speaker, sir.
Mr. Chidambaram, you have a long parliamentary career. I request you that the document to which you have made reference and the document which you have sought to describe, the video, that may be placed on the table of the House.
This is the public domain. This is the public. Just a moment. Sir, forget the video. Forget
no,
the
I
video.
forgot. You made a reference, it is on record.
Forget the video.
No,
we
no.
know,
No,
we
no.
know that
You know the
Honorable
parliamentary
Prime
practice.
Minister met President Xi in Bali. I only want to know a simple question. Did they have an opportunity to discuss China? That's all. There's no document there. There's no document there. We know that President Xi was there. We know Honorable Prime Minister was there. We know that they met in Bali. All I want to know is, did they get an opportunity? Did they get an opportunity to discuss China? Answer is yes or no, that's all. I'm not asking anything. So let me conclude. So I have raised in your absence, when the Deputy Chairman was occupying the chair, 5 questions, and I was waiting for you to come to raise this 6th question. My time. Is he giving a ruling now? Is he giving a ruling now?
One second. Please take your seat. 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 Everyone must be on the seat. Please take your seat. Take your seat.
Sir, therefore,
now, one second.
I'm concluding.
Before you conclude. Before you conclude.
I'm concluding.
One second.
I'm concluding now.
Take your seat. Take it. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take it. Honorable members, it is very painful. Every time we send a signal from the upper house, that generates disillusionment. People are worried. Is it the way the upper house should be conducting itself? Are we going to send such kind of signals? And I am little surprised the kind of body language aggression I have to face. That is not the style of anyone else. We don't have to act in group. We don't have to be on our feet. I try to accommodate everyone with whatever one has to say. If I have used my authority to issue a direction, that is based on my long experience. I was involved with parliamentary affairs 3 decades ago. This is the wholesome practice. If an honorable member has chosen to make reference to a document, the chair is well within its rights to direct the member to place that document on the table of the House. And that for a simple reason, that members are entitled to analyze it, assess it, and then take it forward. I am sure the honorable member will keep that in mind and do it during the course of the proceedings today. Please continue.
Sir, therefore, I sincerely hope that, although this House can only recommend on a supplementary demand and an appropriation bill, since a large amount of 3,25,756 crore, we don't grudge if it's for relevant expenditure. We are granting this amount. I would sincerely hope that the government's treasury benches and the Honorable Finance Minister will enlighten us on the questions that I've raised. Yes. Otherwise, as that famous saying is, we are in the same advanced stage of wisdom at the end of the debate as we were when we began the debate. Thank you.
Very good. And I was listening to you in my chamber, so I am fully updated with the other issues also. Shri Sushil Kumar Modi. Shri Sushil Kumar Modi.
238.5. Sir, 238.5. Reflect upon.
Sushil Kumar Modi. Sushil Kumar Modi.
Sir, this is 238.5, sir.
Mr. Narasimha, no. सुशील कुमार मोदी, सुशील कुमार मोदी।
सभापति महोदय, मैं एप्रोप्रिएशन बिल 2022 पर बोलने के लिए खड़ा हुआ हूँ। सभापति महोदय, इस बिल में